60-minute session for a client. So I'm going to be sharing psychic wisdom and energy healing. If any of you are interested in exploring a session with me, please come visit me at my website at abbeynormalswisdomquest.com. All right, so I have done sessions for this client in the past, so I will put links in the description if you're interested in checking those previous sessions out. There aren't any specific goals, so I'm going to go as guided by spirit. All right. Thank you so much for the opportunity to connect with you again. And I'm so excited to see what we discover today. And thank you so much for sharing with others. Okay, here we go. Hmm. So, right now, there's just stillness. Everything is still around me. And it's nice. It's silent, it is still. There's something of a reddish colored dirt, and I see it is the walls, the ceiling, the ground of what is an infinite space, basically. But it's got more of an earthy vibe to it. It's not like energy looking, it's more like earthy looking. So everything around me's got this reddish colored dirt. Even the sky. Oh, you want to fill this with something because it has a barren sensation to you. You do like the silence, you like the stillness, but you know that there has to be growth, that it can't remain like this. There must be growth. You say, well, what do you want to grow? You start laughing and you say, a blue sky, a sun. I want to grow a blue sky. Okay, okay. You want to grow a horizon? You want to grow a planet? You want to grow. All right, we'll start with the sky. I mean, you're really, really emphasizing that one. You say, how do you grow a sky? It's interesting because there's this odd concept of we are in an energy space. So you can grow a sky by just choosing for it to be a sky. All right. But because the energy space is representing earthiness, ground, even the sky and my peripheral vision, everything has this earthy red dirt about it. So we are in an energy space, but we are experiencing it as though it is a dynamic physical space where things have to have a process of growth. Even the sky must be grown. And so you are legitimately asking me, how do you grow a sky? How do you grow one? Okay. Let me see what what comes to me. I say, well, what's wrong with the red dirt? Why can't that just be a sky? Why can't we just be happy with the way things are? Why does there have to be a blue sky? And if there's a sky, why does it have to be blue? Why can't it just be red dirt? You say because it makes you sad. The red dirt makes you sad. And now you're wondering if you are trying to shield yourself from sadness by growing a blue sky in a way to hide the red dirt that you don't want to look at because it makes you sad. Hmm. Hmm. Right now, we're going to have to go back to stillness and silence. For me, it's not disappointing, but for you, it does feel disappointing. And there's some unknown language here that you're trying to get across about. I don't even want to say any words just yet. The experience of seeing the red dirt as now an emotional thing, whereas it was red dirt and we're ready to grow things and I'm ready to grow a blue sky. How do you grow a blue sky when I can't just create a blue sky? We have to work on growing it. Well, what comes to me is that can't we just be happy with the way things are as what I'm supposed to present to you to see what your response to that is? And your response to that is the red dirt makes me sad. And it feels a bit maybe bigger than yourself to know how to grow a blue sky. Therefore, you will have to stick with what you have, which emanates something of a sad nature. And now you have to resort to stillness and silence, which isn't the growth that you were excited to accomplish, that you wanted for this space, that you felt it was time for. So there's two things. You did feel that it was time for growth. But then when you couldn't grow a blue sky, you went back to the stillness and the silence, which I feel is in a way defeat. I feel okay with the stillness and the silence. I don't mind the red dirt, but it's not my vulnerability, it's yours. And you feel a bit of defeat about it. But I don't want to call it defeat because it's not necessarily defeat, but it feels like a really long time of red dirt without a lot of answers on growing the blue sky in order to create the change that you're looking for. But is that really the change that you need? So that's what's coming to me thus far, okay? You try to get excited, okay? All right, let's think about kids' birthdays and Chuck E. Cheese. I, as a parent, um, is there some kind of slogan about Chuck E. Cheese where parents can be kids, or is that Toys R Us? Well, I feel like I love Chuck E. Cheese because I get to play the games too, and I have fun there, and they have awesome pizza and they have awesome birthday cake. I love Chuck E. Cheese birthdays. So this reminds me of that excitement for Chuck E. Cheese birthday, but feeling like I'm bringing a funeral inside my heart. And so, how do you enjoy Chuck E. Cheese when the feeling in the heart is of this nature? How can you smile? How can you really feel truly in tune with the joy and excitement of the Chuck E. Cheese birthday? But how do you honor and acknowledge this honest feeling at the same time? I say, okay, this funeral, we're going to just set that over there. And then we're going to do Chuck E. Cheese birthday, okay? That isn't dishonoring those feelings. All that is putting them on a timeout for right now. So you can only, as a human being, realistically, we can only really do one thing at a time. So we can't do Chuck E. Cheese birthday and a funeral at the same time. It just doesn't work, So we have to fully embrace Chuck E. Cheese birthday, okay? After Chuck E. Cheese birthday, when we actually feel oddly like joyful, and you may not feel like going back to funeral energy at this time. You know what I mean? Let's see how you feel about this conversation. Say, you kind of say, well, Yeah, it's hard to do that. It's hard to separate yourself when you have a really intense feeling inside. It's hard to separate yourself from that feeling, so that you can just be, in a way, tunnel vision on the thing you want to enjoy, wholeheartedly. You already know that you set that on a timeout, but it doesn't mean that it's not still kind of a part of you. Okay, this is easier said than done. Human beings, we attach ourselves to things we don't even realize we're attached to, okay? And now we have an attachment that will always be attached to, even if we try to put it on a timeout. Well, why? Why do you have to be attached to it? So you can detach from it and then attach yourself to Chuck E. Cheese. But is Chuck E. Cheese a little bit too thin, too superficial? Because it's not day and night every single day for years, like the memory of life. So Chuck E. Cheese isn't as sensational as years of memory, for instance, that then create, feelings of loss that we are now learning how to detach from in order to have a very simple, basic Chuck E. Cheese moment that's going to be awesome, right? Because new Chuck E. Cheese is about new memories too. Okay, we're gonna have to go to the middle ground, and there's gonna have to be just a bawling your eyes out moment here. It's like, it's my party and I cry if I want to. Okay, so we're gonna cry at the Chuck E. Cheese birthday party, okay? Let's just do that because sometimes that's there is a clash that is true. We are working through life, right? So let's just cry, okay? I'm giving you permission. We're going to just bring the funeral back because it is true and honest and legit. And there's something now, the Chuck E. Cheese, that is reminding us of loss. And that's creating sadness instead of joy. Even though Chuck E. Cheese is about joy. And I just feel like a heavy ache in my heart. And the weeping, and then the red dirt appears. All right, I'm going to create a time room, okay? Because we don't have to be in any rush. Literally, there is no rush in the grieving process. There's no rush in it. So it's okay to get pulled back into it again and again and again. Because in a way, loss can come with trauma, emotional trauma. I mean, it can be felt like physical trauma to the heart. So trauma is kind of a saturation and an experience that is hard to cope with. So trauma is not something that we just set on the side and go do Chuck E. Cheese, because it's just kind of a saturation of our being. So how do you work through it? One day at a time, right? And so I'm going to create a time room where we have nothing but time to work through this trauma. Okay? And if we can't grow a blue sky today because we simply don't know how, that's fine. If we got to cry at our party, then that's fine. Because we're acknowledging the truth is there's trauma here. And you're trying the best that you know how, right? Going into this time room, but it's like a big old barrier. Like I can't just go into it with you. Why? I'm watching from the outside. It's a golden space. And you seem to be talking to some invisible people. I feel vibrationally, I mean, something is amiss here that I need to figure it out. Maybe it's separation. Maybe it's creating separation. You creating separation. Something in my soul knows that I need to go to you and I'm not able to. And there's just a big energetic bubble here and I can't cross the lines of that bubble. So I'll just basically project myself inside the space, but I won't be able to actually in this density be the same density. So I won't be able to really stand there. I'll be more like an angel to a human, you know, that it's going to be like I'm not there even though I am. So I'm just going to project myself into her and just watch. Oh, you know, there's business going on in here. There's like businessmen in here. And you're having serious talk with them. And it's tiring. It's very draining. You just want to just turn into some liquid and go down the drain. So you can kind of escape this. And you feel a bit trapped in it. And you are in a time room, which means that it's a safe space for you to work through trauma for however long you need. But in your safe space, there are businessmen. And it's not really helping you work through your trauma. It's just making you want to turn into some liquid and go down the drain. But maybe that's part of this process. You know what I mean? It's like there's going in the process of healing trauma, there's going to be Chuck E. Cheese birthdays and there's going to be businessmen. So again, when we're saturated by the trauma, how do we keep moving through life when we just sort of carry it in our very bloodstream, you know? Okay, I'm exploring some ideas here. Hmm. I'll tell you one of the ideas. I don't know that I'm not necessarily a supporter of it, but it is an idea, okay? So let's say that we have to play pretend in order to get through some things in life. And so we'll have to be an actress, you know, or actor. Like we have to play a role in order to get through some things in life. So you have your real you. Your real you is working through this process, okay? But then you have your pretend you that you are in order to work through the responsibilities of life out there, okay? So let's say you have your safe space in your bedroom in your home, okay? Or wherever your safe spaces are where you can just be yourself, okay? You know, where a kid can be a kid. um, but then there'll be spaces in the real world, okay, where we have to be real world people, all right? And maybe to work through being a real world person, maybe it will take wearing a hat that day, you know, and working on your acting skills, you know, like okay, I'm going to be who I need to be to get through this, and who do I need to be today to get through this out there. Um, the reason why I'm not necessarily I mean, it's actually a brilliant idea and this does work and it can be fun if you let it be fun and it gives you kind of your spaces to work through the grieving process or those emotional feelings, you know, the trauma, the saturation, right? You have those spaces and then you have spaces where you can be whoever you need to be to get through the real world. I'm not necessarily a fan of it because you should always be who you are. But you know, we can't the way the world turns here in the human world, we don't even know who we are half the freaking time, you know? I asked the question, how do you feel today, Abby? Well, I don't know. I feel like I'm overwhelmed. Well, I'm really excited about this. Kind of nervous about a few days from now. So I'm overwhelmed, I'm nervous, and I'm excited. So how do you feel? I don't know because I feel so many feelings. So so how are we working through these processes? We go to work, we put on our work clothes, we do the work responsibilities. We go home, we're totally different people, right? So we kind of change our character in the different places that we are, you know what I mean? And so if we have just some presentation of self that is always the same from beginning to beginning to end of the day again, you know, um, it's actually kind of incredible. You don't you're not dynamically changing anything about you you for the world or the spaces that you're in. You're just yourself every single day, every single place that you're in, and whatever you are in that moment is you. So if you want to bawl your eyes out in the middle of Walmart, you know, nobody's going to care. I mean, these are the things we think about as to when we're in different places and the behaviors that we have to present to the world in those places. We also have to be strong for our kids so we avoid crying around our children, you know. So there's like different ways that we mold and shape our identities based on the different places that we are in. It's kind of an inevitable thing, but if you take it to another step where you're saying, I'm going to actually consciously choose to be a different person in order to get through the business of life, you might have to. But do you have to? You can cry in the middle of the business of life too, right? You can go to get ice cream at Dairy Queen and then, I don't know, get a wild hair, throw your ice cream on the ground and say, I hate life. Ah! Go back to your car, honk at everybody because you're having a weird moment and leave. Because, you know, we just are whatever we are, wherever we are. We just be whatever that is. Like, there seems to be an innate knowing in society of the faces we need to wear in different places. Like at church, you know, the face you need to wear at church versus at the wedding. That is the after church part. You know what I mean? Like, so let's explore this again here. Can you be like, do you have to be other yous in order to work through this process, and is that okay? Or is it going to feel like pretending? And is pretending okay to get yourself through these processes as you have safe spaces to work through this trauma stuff? It's kind of like dogs in kennels, you know? They have their kennel space is their safe space where they go and do what their vibes are a certain vibe when they're in their kennel versus when they're on the walk versus when they're eating their food, you know? So we're going to be different vibes in different spaces, okay? So you have your designated, this is my me space where I can work through some deeper feelings. And this is my space where I'm going to put on my business face and work through that. So the reason why I'm talking about this is because I have to strengthen the part of you that wants to turn into liquid and go down a drain. Because you still have to stand here and face business, but you're trying to do it with this in your heart, okay? It's called being strong. Who wants to be strong all the time? What human being wants to go through life and have to be so ridiculously strong every single day? And what is it truly to be strong? Sometimes it might feel conflicting, like being strong isn't really being me. Being me is somebody who just wants to bawl my eyes out, but I can't really do that, so I have to be strong. Being strong is so hard. So we have these conflicting sensations as to how you express your identity and be true to yourself at the same time. But there is some kind of acknowledgement that It's going to be hard for you to get through the business of life if you feel like going down a drain. You have to learn how to hold on to being strong. So let's find some fun ways to do it. Like, let's make life fun and interesting instead of a daunting, painful, resisting thing. All right, we're supposed to go into a conversation about being strong, is not pretending to be strong, because you have to be strong when you are strong. And sometimes it takes courage. That's a strength. Sometimes it takes willpower. That's a strength. And when we have to be these types of strengths, it feels like it's going against the grains, and there's a lot of friction in having to be these strengths, and we don't want to. But you have to be strong. You have to be these strengths. And let the friction part of it go. Say, see ya, friction. I have to be strong, and I'm proud to be strong. I am proud to say I am a strong person, and I am choosing the courage and I am choosing the willpower to face the business of the day. And when I am complete with facing the business of the day, I'm going to go to my safe spaces. And then if I need to vent out emotion in my safe spaces, then I'll do that. And if my safe space includes friends and family that I want to work through my emotion with, then I'm going to vent it out there. If my safe space is in my car, or my safe space is on my bicycle through the nature trail or whatever, you will have places to be liquid going down the drain and places where you can be strong and be proud. Like this, some of these dynamics, when you start to consciously perceive them as good, the goodness of these dynamics, it supports the process of being these dynamics, okay? So see being strong is a good thing, and being strong has its time and its places. But you can also give yourself time and places to be whoever you want to be. So you got your church time, and then you got your couch potato time. You know what I mean? Like, you got your pajama time and your business suit time, you know? So we got to put on different faces in different places sometimes, you know what I mean? That's just the way of being human and the way our world works. Because if we just had a wild hair and threw our ice cream on the ground and started screaming at the Dairy Queen and then get in our car and honk as we're blitzkrieging out of there. No, everybody, what is that like inspiring in others? What is that behavior inspiring other people to think and feel in their own life? How do we influence people to feel bright if that is what we want to give back to the world, right? So if we want to give back a brightness to the world, then we got to think about ourself and our own behavior. However, I think crying in front of people also creates meaning because it gives others the opportunity to nurture you. And so you don't always have to be the only one there to nurture yourself. So it's okay then also to cry, you know, it's okay to have emotions. We're supposed to just put this all out on the table and just have this conversation about this type of stuff, okay? And it is bringing certain concepts into balance because it's hard to be strong, but when you understand that being strong is a good thing, you'll have pride in your own personal strength. And then you can do that, and then you can exhale when you're in your safe spaces, okay? All right, let's see how you're doing here with the businessman. Okay, you're a lot stronger now. You don't want to go down the drain. But you don't want this time in your life. And you feel like this time has been extended and it feels like an eternity, and you don't want it to feel like an eternity. You just want to be done with this business. And I ask your higher self, well, why in the world was I called to create a time room for you to feel like dealing with this business is an eternity? Because the time room was intended for you to have time to nurture any feelings of suffering in your life that are like trauma level stuff. So why did it become an eternity of suffering instead of time to heal? So why is there eternity of suffering in what is supposed to be your time to heal? Why higher self of yours? Okay, let's see what comes here. Your higher self is giggling. Your higher self is like lots of feathers and then takes the feathers and tickles under their noses, and they keep, this one like really likes to tickle this one's nose, specifically the one in the center who's like a bigger boss man. Is kind of what he's like. And she's like a Tinkerbell in her own right, but because she's likes to tinker with people in ways that make her it's very childlike, lighthearted. It's not gonna hurt anybody, but it's kind of, I don't know, lightens the mood. I guess it's kind of funny. It is funny. I mean, it's really funny. I actually love it because he's so ridiculously serious, and he has no idea there's actually an energy feather that's tickling his nose, and he is receiving it somehow. He is aware of it, and his nose keeps itching, and he doesn't know why, but we know. It's funny. And then I see your higher self from behind do something benevolent, like genuinely caring, not like silly and childlike, but actually taking a hand of light and then placing it into the back side of this man's heart and filling him with light and saying thank you for being who you are in my life. Thank you for being a part of my life. Thank you for doing the best that you know how for me. And your higher self tells you you can breathe. You can breathe. Let the work be done for you in a way. Just allow the process to circulate. Just allow the process to circulate. And relax and just let it be done for you, so to speak. Because there's so much tightening responsibility here to the business that it's so uncomfortable to the trauma that's already within you that it's making you want to go down a drain, and that we need to alter that vibe. So you're on vacation right now, just simply sitting in a chair, relaxing, breathing, and you're just allowing this to happen um, without thinking too much about it, or as in letting it be kind of like knives in your heart about it, because it doesn't have to be that way. It doesn't have to feel that way. It's like strength can be an empowering thing when you realize how strong of a person you are. You can feel pride in that strength and you can understand how to work with it. So strength isn't a suffering, it is an empowering thing. So how do we turn this situation into an allowing of the process, a joy and an empowering experience that brings light and love to your eyes and your smile and your heart, and makes it feel safe, like a Chuck E. Cheese birthday party? Maybe it's not boisterously, overwhelmingly happy, but it can feel safe, a safe experience to have fun if you can, right, at Chuck E. Cheese birthday parties. So we can raise the vibration of the interaction. And it doesn't now feel like an eternity at all, because this is still part of your healing space and your time for healing. And this will all circulate through just like an ocean wave. It'll all just curl all the way over, and then it will go all the way back out into the middle of the ocean and wherever else these specific particles of water go. Everything just circulates around and then finds itself on the other side of the planet. Like, stuff circulates, it cycles through. This chat is very revitalizing, because I feel that it's okay to be in the red dirt area, and it doesn't feel defeat. It doesn't feel like defeat or stillness and silence again, you know. I don't know how to grow a blue sky. Like it doesn't feel like there's any letdowns here at all. Just taking a moment because I can feel shifts. There's so many shifts in your heart here. Is heart doesn't feel heavy either. It feels more hopeful and bright. Feels more breathable. All right, red dirt space. What do you think about it now? You say, I want to clean things up. So we've gone from I want to grow things, I'm ready to grow new things here to I'm going to clean this up. Okay. Now, so we'll clean this then. Maybe it's dirt inside a house that caked on all the floor, walls, and ceiling, you know? We just need a magic eraser. No, you say not like that. Not like that. Okay. You are cleaning things, you are vibrationally shifting, and you are vibing differently, as in your heart energy is, which is you also vibing differently. And I feel it expanding out in every direction, and it touches all the this reddish brown dirt. Oh, it's starting to look like scabs, old scabs. And it's not a very comfortable feeling. But you're in a meditation and you're sending vibrations in every direction, and it's peeling off old scabs. It's not very. It's cringeworthy. It's a cringeworthy experience right now. Like you're not supposed to pick at your scabs. I mean, I know there comes a point when, but initially they need some more time. Like huge chunks of scab are coming off the ceiling, the walls, and the floor. And I don't know about this. I don't know about this. It feels painful to me, and I still feel it hasn't healed completely beneath the scab. Like, I don't agree with it. I know everything needs time to breathe, so. You're gonna hold on. You're gonna hang in there. You just going to do this. And it feels honest in your heart. It just feels like the honest next step for you. So you're just really sending vibes, and the vibes have a way of the scabs are coming off. Okay, and underneath the scabs there's like skinned knees, skinned elbows, and skinned body parts. Like this body has lots of skinned parts, exposed, ripped off skin. Okay, it's kind of like skinning your knee or skinning your elbow level skins. Okay, and you walk down now what is a form like it's created itself a hallway, and it's actually not like an infinite space. It's more of a defined space, and the walls are made up of skinned knees, basically, one after the other on both sides, all the way down, 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 down. And you're walking towards what is like a seat, towards the end of this tunnel. You say, this you says life is pain, and pain must be exposed in order for it to be acknowledged and healed. Hmm. This side of yourself is a little bit more intense. She's kind of like, I don't want to, she's dark. And she's kind of a queen of sorts who works with a suffering of self or suffering of others. And she works with a strength of truth, divine truth about it. And I wouldn't necessarily want to be one of her servants. I, I mean, she is right. I mean, life does include pain, and we need to acknowledge the pain and stop hiding ourselves from it or avoiding it. We need to just honestly expose ourselves to the reality of pain in order for the pain to heal. I mean, she is right about that. Just a bit of a sharp way of vibrationally expressing that to me. Hmm. I'm just going to bring more of who you are in the present moment into this space. I'm going to ask you what you think about this. You say, I want to heal, 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 heal. I want to heal, 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 heal everything. I want to heal everything. That's what you say instantly. It's like, wow, okay. And you say, oh man, you tell me many things all of a sudden. Like, if life didn't have pain, then I would not have purpose. Because when there is pain, now I can heal that pain and now I have purpose. So your purpose is to heal. So without pain, I have no purpose. So with pain, I have purpose and I'm going to heal, 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 heal. That's what you say. It's really funny. It's cool. Didn't expect that. So you look at all the pain here and all the skin knees and you're exploring ways to heal it. And I see this intense you on the chair, and more so in the center instead of the end of the tunnel. And she has a big black, dynamic looking hat on. She has really sharp eyes. She has long black fingernails and white skin. She has jet black hair pulled back and very like thin eyes, really dark red lips. And she wears a black dress. I ask you what you think about her. Do you think you can heal her? Do you think she needs healing? You recognize her as a mother. And this mother is teaching you and directing you about the wisdom of pain. And you can't dislike her for her teachings, because without her you wouldn't be able to learn about her teachings and then the gift of healing. It kind of goes hand in hand. So she's dark, okay? But she's you define her as a mother, a wise teacher, and you respect her. Hmm. So I merge you and her as one, since she kind of represents a version of your higher self as well, which means she is you. She is a part of who you are. So I'm just merging you together. And I want to see what you experience being a part of who she is. Because she is pain. And now you and pain are one. You're learning a lot right now. Huh. I don't even know how to put words to what it is, but I see you studying creation and destruction and exploring concepts of worlds where there is no destruction. There's only creation. Therefore, there's no pain, but there's still growth to be had. So, is it healing or is it growing that you are doing? Are you healing or are you growing? Is pain, what is pain then? What is pain? So we're actually learning about who she truly is. We initially think she is pain, but there is a secret identity here. Because as human beings, we may not see it quite right until we've been through the rigmarole, until we get to the grand finale of the epiphanies of awareness that we are trying to achieve. And now our initial perception has totally dynamically changed as we become wise. You know what I mean? So, but you go into what creates the desire for pain. Because not all pain is just a natural process. Sometimes it is chosen. Pain then is chosen. And why is pain chosen? Why would anybody choose to rip their skin off, Why would anybody choose painful experiences in life? And is there healing and growing as a oneness? And is pain and healing and growing all in oneness with each other? Or are they separate? I mean, you're going through a really long time as a merged part of her identity, and I see it changes you. And how it changes you is it makes you more serious in a way. Because once you have a vast knowing that is so serious in and of itself, because these are serious concepts in a way, I see you awakening to something new about who you are. And you step out of her and you are her twin now. And you both look identical and you both look into each other's eyes and you say, I am you and you are me. And I am pain? You really perplex here. I am pain? Am I pain? I mean, is that like, wow, I'm so into this right now. Okay, let's see what comes next. You say, I'm going to choose to be who I am, and I am not pain. I have learned from pain, but I am not pain. And you take this identity off and hand it back to her. And you say to pain that now you can learn from me. And pain holds on to itself. It holds on to pain. And pain doesn't want to be anything but pain. Therefore, pain does not want to heal or grow. But the inevitable is that pain must go through a process of healing and then, therefore, growing, right? Pain has to. Pain isn't the beginning and the end. Pain is just a part of the process. And when you start to see who you are, now pain is not your teacher. You are a teacher for pain. But boy, this really taught you a lot. I mean, it taught you more things than you can even wrap your head around. Like, I mean, you are really expanded here. And you're trying to learn how to go back to being yourself, going back to being who you are. Hmm. Because you see yourself as having entered into this chamber of pain and being so lighthearted and childlike, really with this zest to heal the pain. And without the pain, I cannot be a healer. And pain then gives me purpose. Only to have this merging with pain and to be presented with all these deep concepts, only to leave pain, think that you too have become now pain, only to realize that pain is not who you are. But you've grown so much from when you entered into this chamber that I mean, can you ever be who you were when you walked in? Is that really who you want to be? Because who walked in here didn't have all the wisdom that you've acquired. And because you have all this wisdom, you have now grown. But how do you heal from the process of acquiring all this wisdom? I still see the you from the past, really childlike, is still here. And so you now, of having gone through all this transformation, is moving towards the child's moving towards you. And the child then touches your heart and smiles super big and shines so much light into your heart. It's like the child is saying something like you're taking life too seriously. You let pain make life more serious. You let pain influence you. You can be lighthearted again. You can be a child again. And now the teacher is the child. You teach pain, but you are also taught by now the child as to how to be that energy, how to be that light. The child is like, oh my God, so cute. I'm supposed to merge you both. It's odd because you're so long and stretched out and you're not easily molded and shapeable into like the child is all pure light and is bubbly and silly and happy, and I had to take you, this kind of like overgrown person, and then put you into this child energy. It's not easy to do it. Oh no, I'm going to take the child energy and grow it up. And I'm going to grow the child energy up as though it never had an experience with pain. And so that way it maintains its this pristine nature where it was not touched by pain, where it never merged with pain. And now it is a reflection of who you are as well. Now you're like, so I am pain and I am my inner child and I am my past and I am my present and I am my future and I am whatever this is that I've become from my interaction with pain and my desire to merge with the inner child. I am all of this. Your Chuck E. Cheese birthday as well. You're the feather that tickles the nose of the big boss man, secretly behind his back on the other energy side. Yes. So I don't have to just be pain. I can learn from it and then I can be everything. Yeah, you can be everything. I can be. I can be. Yeah. Yeah, you can. You can be. You can be. So I already am this child, this little and big. I am this molded me. I am this pain. I am these skin knees. I am this hallway. Like, I am whatever I want to be. Yeah, you are whatever you want to be. Do you want to be a blue sky? Oh, it really threw you off, and it starts to cry. You start to cry, and your tears start to make it rain in this red dirt place. And then you say, I am the rain, and I am the tears, and I am the sadness, and I am the dreamer, and I am desiring the wisdom to grow a blue sky. And I am still and silent, and I am strong, and I am vulnerable. And like, wow, you're so many things. And you say, if I am just one thing, I'm not all that I am. So being all these things makes me more of who I am. And I am learning from myself, which is all around me. Yeah, totally. So I am happy and I am sad. Yeah, you're trying on happy. Like you're merging with your happy self, okay? And you just start laughing hysterically. And you're like, whoa, whoa, wow. It's like, boy, you can really appreciate being your happy self when you just went through the chamber of pain. Like, maybe going through the chamber of pain gives you a new appreciation for your happy self, you know? Yeah, yeah, it does. I say, well, do you want to be your sad self? I mean, because that is you too, right? You are everything. Oh, I want to be my happy self. I don't want to be my sad self. Okay. But you still are, I mean, you still are everything. You are the tears and the rain. You are the blue sky. Oh, I am everything. I am pain. I am the mother of pain. I am grateful for pain as it gives me purpose as a healer, as a grower. And I am sad and I'm happy and I'm really processing this. It's kind of like you say, if I am all pain, then I won't be all happy. But if I'm all happy, then I won't really comprehend pain. I won't be able to comprehend all my other selves. That's why I have to diversify my experience with all myself in all of its different ways, whether those ways are sad, angry, vulnerable, I want to go down the drain, I'm intimidated, this feels like an eternity. All of these feelings are also myself, myselves. And I'm being more myself by feeling all of myself. And I can be intimidated, I can be overwhelmed as part of my feelings of myself, while I simultaneously am striving to be stronger than those feelings of myself, even though it's all basically an illusion. Because I'm whatever I feel like I need to be at that time. And then I grow new skills in the process. And in a way, you're starting to realize that the business is actually teaching you something really important here too. And it's hard to put your finger on what it means to you, but you're starting to have a real appreciation for this business. And as you have an appreciation for it, you don't feel the eternity dragging on. It actually feels like great gratitude. A gratitude. And you have to remember that the world, like it's not just about you, okay? Obviously, we know that it's about everybody, but sometimes it feels to me like maybe you are taking on too much responsibility, um, to let go of the responsibility. Let other people take some responsibilities off your plate so that you can start to heal and mend from this. So you have to let others then take upon the responsibilities so that it's not just you at the nucleus of every freaking thing right now in your life. You kind of need to share the load, okay? And you got to trust people, or trust in the process, or trust that everything is all okay. And the wave, right, is circulating. And one day it won't be there anymore, and it will be a distant memory. That wave. And it'll be dispersed somewhere out in the ocean, doing new things, just like you. So that's what I have to share. Thank you for this. I don't even know what to say. That was just an incredible process. And it's really nice to revisit these concepts because this is everyday human life here, but boy, when you can really get ingrained in some of these concepts, it does give you a sense of freedom of self-expression, or freedom to live, freedom to just understand the flow or allow things to be in the flow, freedom to cry or to laugh or to whatever you need to be, freedom to understand, freedom to be confused, whatever. Because this is all you are experiencing, all your other selves, by living your life. All right. Thank you. Thank you, everybody, too, for watching from beginning to end. I hope you all are having a wonderful day, and I hope the rest of your day is awesome, too.